1441st एपिसोड ऑफ नागपुर मोस्ट हैपनिंग फेसबुक लाइव शो जिसका नाम है राज की बात विमेन ऑफ द ईयर के साथ रियली वांट टू थैंक पारेख ब्रदर्स जूलर्स रिप्रेजेंटिंग राज की बात विमेन ऑफ द ईयर in association with Pehnava Boutique. A big thank you to Mampi Reusable Diapers for Children. Also a big thank you to Cuts the Salon and can't forget to thank LIC बोले तो विनय साहू. मेरे आज की जो मेहमान है she has been working as a skin specialist, a dermatologist for past 23 years now and एक मुंबईकर नागपुरकर कैसे बन गई इसकी एक पूरी कहानी है. चलिए बात करते हैं सेंट्रल इंडिया की जानी मानी डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट डॉक्टर अर्चना चौधरी से. मैम नमस्कार. मैम स्वागत आपका राज की बात में. मैम सबसे पहले तो धन्यवाद कि आप एक वुमेन ऑफ द ईयर हैं, नॉट जस्ट फॉर दिस ईयर बट ऑल द ईयर कमिंग, एंड आपने मौका दिया, वक्त दिया बात करने के लिए. सो मैम हम बात करते हैं असल मुंबईकर अर्चना जी के बारे में जो अब नागपुरकर बन चुकी हैं. सो मैम किस किस्म का जीवन था, किस किस्म की अपब्रिंगिंग थी, किस किस्म के परिवार से हैं आप?
I am from a middle class family, Maharashtrian family, and I was born and my schooling was from a city called Dombivli in Mumbai, which is a very wonderful town. उसके बाद I did my college from Mulund and then my MBBS and MD from St. G.S. Medical College and KM Hospital. And while I was going to the college, it used to be daily commuting by the famous local trains of Mumbai.
जी.
And it was after my marriage, after my MD stint, I came to Nagpur since my husband is from Nagpur.
मैम जब पहली बार नागपुर जब आप आई थी फ्रॉम यू नो आई एम श्योर दैट वाज मैरिज विच वाज द रीजन यू केम टू नागपुर. मैम क्या एक्सपीरियंस था नागपुर का? अब इसको कितने हो गए, 24 साल 25 साल 23rd ईयर ना. तो मैम 23 साल पहले का नागपुर कैसा था जब आप पहली बार आई थी?
For me it was when I came in the summer. So for me I first time faced this extreme heat. So it took time adjusting to the heat. And I found it a very sleepy town.
Laid back.
Yes, compared to Mumbai, because I was used to catching a certain local, like 5:52 local, and I had to rush time to reach the hospital on time. So I found it very difficult that till 10 o'clock the shops don't open, and even at night the shops close early. So that was a bit, I found it very relaxed routine of people around here compared to the fast-paced life in Mumbai.
जी.
Where everything is in minutes. And that time also the roads were very good, but now of course the infrastructure has developed to a great extent, and I do find shops being open for longer time. And I mean there has been a change which I've seen over the past 20 years for the best. What I found difficult or different from Mumbai was the slow paced lifestyle.
Right.
And here everybody has a vehicle, so that time public transport was not so good. Now we have metros and all, but that time one had to have our own vehicle if we need to do any work.
Right,
which I was not used to in Mumbai. We used to use auto rickshaws and trains and buses, and we could carry on our work. When we didn't have our own vehicle to commute. That was the one difference I found between Nagpur and Mumbai.
मैम जब प्रोफेशन की शुरुआत हुई एज अ डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट, मैम किस किस्म का एक्सपीरियंस रहा एज अ डर्मेट, एज अ स्किन स्पेशलिस्ट?
It was a nice experience because when I started my practice in 2001-2, that time there were very few lady dermatologists. So that was the need of the population because many females need a female to address so many issues. So it was a very good beginning. I was able to help out people because we are very few in number, and it was a good experience. The people are very nice. I mean now it's 23 years in Nagpur and I want to love it as I used to love my Mumbai. So the experience was good.
Ma'am, when it comes to skin, when it comes to hair, when it comes to the complete concept of dermatology, ma'am, what is that one thing people don't understand?
Yeah. People don't understand skin and hair.
Mhm.
What people expect is once they come to us for treatment
Mhm.
and after they get the results, they expect it to be permanent.
Right.
So nothing is permanent in life. You have to work to maintain it.
Mhm.
And there are certain skin conditions. See, we have something called medical dermatology and cosmetic dermatology.
जी.
So in medical dermatology, there are many chronic skin conditions which
Mhm.
don't have a cure.
Mhm.
So we have to educate people and make them aware that we have to manage these conditions. So they have to learn to accept these conditions and learn to manage them effectively. So
Mhm.
acceptance of certain things which are not curable,
Mhm.
and regular maintenance of skin hair is necessary. You have to put in efforts day in and day out,
Mhm.
minimum efforts to maintain it.
Mhm.
So that is one thing people don't understand. To some extent we have to educate them.
Ma'am, when it comes to the products which are being used for skin care, talk about a cream which makes a fairness cream, that too people use deos, perfumes for skin. Again, a lot of people use these color shading thing for their hair. Ma'am, these chemical thing which is now a part of everyone's life and body, how do you look at it?
See, I am very much against this fairness creams, because see, lightening creams, detanning creams are good, but
And they're different.
yeah, they actually it's like a thin line. It's a nomenclature which is used for them. There's nothing called fairness creams, because
Okay.
you cannot change your original natural skin tone. Now what we can change is the damage which is caused by the environment or the lifestyle or lack of skin care. That we can improve and bring a more healthier, give you a more healthier skin by advising you regarding skin care.
Right.
So the whole concept in India of becoming fair and fair is beautiful. That is what we as dermatologists address and make people aware. It is not the color of your skin that matters. It should be a healthy skin,
True.
well-maintained skin.
True.
So don't get lured by all the advertisements on YouTube and internet. Sometimes people go by this and they harm their skin. There's a lot of this steroid abuse going on, where steroid creams are used on the face and they are being promoted as fairness creams. So without realizing, people use them day in and day out, and then they land up, initially they get wonderful results, but
Right.
then they land up with side effects.
Absolutely.
So that one should be aware of. No medicated cream should be applied just by seeing the ad. One has to take proper advice from qualified professionals, and that's where we come in. We are here to help you out. And regarding the deos and all, see, we are not living in a natural world.
Right.
Raj, our food is adulterated, our environment. So one can't expect everything to be natural. Some people have a phobia of chemical. They want everything natural, but one can't have everything natural. But chemicals, of course, they should be used to a minimum. They should be good quality. So whenever you use a product, it should be of a reputed company where a lot of research has been done, and it should be used as needed, not overdo things. I mean, I find some people overusing this. That is not good. They are, things have to be done in the right way, right product for the right indication. Then it gives you benefit and doesn't harm you.
बट मैम बहुत सारे जैसे ऐसे लोग हैं जो ये कहते हैं कि हमारा प्रोडक्ट जो है वो हर्बल है, हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट है वो आयुर्वेदिक है, हमारा प्रोडक्ट जो है वो नेचुरल है. मैम, ऐसे स्किन केयर प्रोडक्ट्स को किस तरह से देखती हैं आप?
See, actually, there is no regulation. Anybody can say anything and get away with it. So, unfortunately, people don't know genuine from fake, right? So there are pure, genuine, natural, good products in the market, but all those who claim are not so. Many times they have chemicals and they had herbs. So they don't mention the chemical part. They just say we have put this herbs in that. So you go for, I would advise people to consult qualified professionals like us, where we recommend products whom we know what they contain, and if that is not possible, go for reputed standard companies products, which at least then they are more standardized. If any individual claims his products, even he may not be qualified to start his own chain of products. So please don't get convinced by whatever is said on the net. It may not be so. I mean, many spurious things are going on.
And then a lot of skin clinics are also on. हम देखते हैं कि आए दिन स्किन क्लिनिक अपने आप को इस तरह से प्रमोट करते हैं जहाँ पर बूटॉक्स की बात हो रही है, जहाँ पर आर्टिफिशियल स्किन केयर को और अच्छा करने की बात हो रही है. मैम, आप ये सब चीज़ों को, ये स्किन क्लिनिक्स को किस तरह से देखते हैं?
See, one has to, I mean, the person who is treating should be a qualified dermatologist. That is the minimum requirement. So one has to check the public, the people, the patients. They have to counter check whether they are degrees, they are qualified doctors, not some person who is not qualified in the field and starting, because anybody can open a center and keep some machines and start a treatment. So please check out for the degree. And then we have an association, National Association, IADWA, which is Indian Association of Dermatologists and Women. So just check out whether they are IADWA members, whoever are treating you. So that will, help you in going to the right person. Another thing is treatments. See, treatments, there's nothing like good or bad. It depends on the person, whether that person needs a particular treatment or not. So that's where we analyze and then we advise.
Suddenly there is a rise in the number of people having skin allergies and skin issues like pigmentation, one of these issues where people are suffering, where people are not just suffering but also combating, challenging, fighting against this complete thing when it comes to pigmentation specifically. Now, what's your thought on that?
It is actually due to our changed lifestyle.
Or a bad lifestyle?
Of course. Do we have a good lifestyle? How many of us are eating on time, sleeping on time, and not binging on the mobile at night? There is this change. It's a multifactorial thing. One can't point to a single thing that this is the cause, but it is the changing lifestyles and the environmental damage. These days environmental pollution and ecosystem imbalance is so much in. So there is skin is unique in our skin is it is the only organ of the body which is influenced by internal and external factors. So the external environment, the UV radiation in the atmosphere, for most of us who are always going outdoors, it does damage the skin. So that is a major factor in this pigmentation issue. The sun exposure, the radiation exposure on an unprotected skin. Like people who don't cover their skin or don't use sunscreen, they are more prone to develop these pigmentation issues. And second is the internal factor, the hormonal changes, the stress, the lifestyle, the use of, we are exposed to a lot of light coming from the computer screens and light. So all these things also damage our skin. So that is why all these issues are, it's a multiple factors. It's environmental damage, hormonal disturbances, stress, and bad lifestyles, all a combination of facts, sometimes using a lot of medications for certain health issues. They all are the reason why we are seeing an increase in the issues of pigmentation and dark patches over the skin. Yes, it is rising to a great extent compared to earlier also it was there, but the rate has increased.
The rate has increased.
And that is why this, like you said earlier, the clinics have mushroomed because there is a need to look good, because these days your looks, this is
looks matter.
This is advertisement so much that everybody starts believing it. Yes, it matters,
right.
And then everybody wants to look good. Of course, one has to look good and presentable, but then it is hyped to such an extent, so then people find that there is a market for this. There are people who are demanding for this. So then there is a lot of this curious fake or quacks coming up with clinics who are not qualified and who are advising people about skincare. So that is a big danger to the public health.
मैम 23 साल में आप कितना नागपुर घूमी हैं? मतलब नागपुर के बारे में सब कुछ पता चल गया आपको? जानिए नागपुर को।
I hope so.
कौन से एरिया से जो अब तक आप गई नहीं है? आपको नाम पता है बट गई नहीं है कभी?
I have to go to Swami. No, I have gone to that mandir also. Yes, I think I have gone to most
good places in Nagpur. Now how do you find Nagpur? 23 साल पहले तो
after G20 like one can see art everywhere.
Absolutely.
So it it is now really beautiful. And the highways and the bridges and all have really,
And also metro coming in.
Metro coming in, it has changed the face of Nagpur, and I'm proud of it.
One thing which you still miss about Mumbai, what's that?
I miss the professionalism. To some extent, I find it is. I mean, I miss that excitement which is there in the air in Mumbai, and I miss the getting up and starting the day early. Because even now I find it difficult to, my patients start coming after 10, and I am like, I want to start the day at 9. So I miss that.
That thing, that pace. Okay.
The excitement or the pace.
Ma'am, marriage as an institution, they say that the husband learns a lot from the wife every day. Yeah. My next question is, what have you learned from Dr. Prashant Chaudhari?
I'm a very impatient person, and my husband is very patient. So I have learned
to be
patient and speak less. But I think I have not been very successful at it.
So has he, always tried to calm you out and
No, I mean, he has given me a lot of independence. He has never tried to change me or correct me, or he has accepted me the way I am. So that's why I have been able to take my own decisions, and I have no need to change in any aspect.
Suddenly, there was a time when just an MBBS doctor was, or a general physician was a part of people's life. Now suddenly there are experts. I'm talking about specific experts who are becoming part of people's life. One of them is a dermat. A dermat is now a need of every home.
Yes.
Ma'am, one thing as a dermat you would like to suggest to all the ladies out there, that one tip that can help them look pretty, what would that be?
Regular use of a moisturizer and a sunscreen. Yes, it is a must. Because like I told you earlier, pigmentation issues, it's because of the environmental damage. So earlier it was not that necessary. Without taking care of the skin, one could still maintain a natural, healthy looking skin. But now one needs to hydrate the skin. So moisturizer is a must, which hydrates and softens, and a sunscreen to protect it from damage and leaching. So everybody needs to use a good moisturizer and a sunscreen daily. That is essential.
Ma'am, what do you think the future of cosmetic products are? The future of cosmetics.
The future, I mean, already they are very much in. Future, I think we have a lot of homemade treatments and which have started. So in future, there will be products which will be more, like you said, a blend of the natural and the technology, chemical. So we will have products which will be more researched, and our new old molecules, old products like Indian products which are getting discovered with properties of beauty.
True.
They will be more into vogue. There will be more research and standardized, and every household will be very well versed with the products and use the right products in the right manner and preserve their skin.
मैम, क्या ये सच होता है कि कोई साबुन इस्तेमाल करने से किसी की त्वचा से किसी की उम्र का पता नहीं चलता? ऐसा होता है?
No, it is not possible.
ऐसा नहीं होता है?
There are, of course, using a good soap makes a difference, but that's not the only thing.
There are more aspects to it.
There's a lot more to it. If it would have been so easy, life would have been so great.
Ma'am, how was COVID times? How was the lockdown for you?
Lockdown, it taught a lot, but it was, besides the fact that it really was traumatic to see so many people losing their lives, otherwise it really was a time for retrospection and reflection about whether we are going the right way, so to set our priorities right, to get more connected to our like since I'm from Mumbai and I've come to Nagpur, I have not been in touch with, so I was not in touch with so many of my friends, of my old earlier known contacts and acquaintances. So COVID was a time where I got reconnected with all those people and it felt very nice. And it also made us realize that we need to be more connected with everyone and find time for our near and dear ones. So that's what COVID taught. Then it was a time where I could pursue a lot of my hobbies, like I love reading, so I could do a lot of reading during that period. And what did you ask?
Ma'am, I asked you how was your COVID times and how was lockdown?
It was a nice time. I mean, I did not. It was a nice time in terms of I found time for myself because earlier it was a very hectic schedule, and I could. I was working also. So besides the 21 days break, I was seeing patients. So I was not bored.
So, ma'am, what's your me time?
With books. Yeah, I spend my time with books whenever I get free time.
Ma'am, how has been the journey as a mother?
Oh, it's been difficult but wonderful. I enjoy a great bond with my children, and I'm very contented that I could give my 100% in bringing them up. And the joys of motherhood are something one has to experience. So it was great bringing up my children. And though it was very difficult balancing work and household responsibilities, so there were a couple of years which were a bit stressful, but otherwise on the whole it has been very satisfying.
So these stressful years, when you recollect them in mind and in memories, ma'am, what do you think? What was more challenging there?
I found it difficult to give time to my practice. I mean, I had to limit the hours of my practice. And at that age, one is very enthusiastic and passionate about doing a lot more than what. So I had to restrict myself a bit because one cannot be at two places at one time.
Absolutely.
One can't give 100. So my priority was clear. At that time, kids were my priority. So I gave my 100% and I limited my clinic time. So sometimes it did make me feel that I should do more. But then now I am happy that now I have time. I can devote and I am devoting more time. Kids are grown up and those years were well invested.
So, ma'am, I have a few questions which are society-based questions. So, I would really like you to answer and throw some light on what you think about it. Ma'am, one of the concepts which are very slowly getting introduced in the Indian society is this concept of house husbands. What is your thought about it?
I'll just have a glass of water.
No problem, ma'am.
I am all for it. Because I believe if we have accepted women as professionals in every field, so why can't it be the other way around? I mean, definitely, certain men can be very good in, like you said, how as a mother doing about children. Certain men can be very good in doing the same chores which a mother does, and many men love cooking and are very good. So I am very much, but I think society is taking more time to accept this concept. But I think in future we will be very comfortable with this.
Ma'am, what is your thought on single mothers?
It's an individual's choice. I mean, everybody has a choice to live the life they want to be. And I think if somebody opts for that, it's her life. I mean, I think she can devote more to her career and she can be more focused. So if one is happy with about it, then I mean, we should all accept it as a part of society. We should support them. Why not?
Ma'am, what's your thought of the increasing rate of divorces in the country?
I think people have become more intolerant. The tolerance level has gone down. The reason is everybody doesn't give time. I mean, it's like if things don't happen your way, we used to adjust. We used to give time. Actually, things get sorted out with time. But the youth of today are more impatient. If things don't work their way, they immediately, just don't let don't give time for a relationship to develop.
Mm-hmm.
So tolerance has to be is lack of tolerance, and people want instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
People want things to have. They are not ready to let go things. You know, people, our kids are used to having things their way. So when things don't happen as they have envisaged,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to become impatient and just break the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I think both the partners should give time and understand that life is not rosy as it was. I mean, when you are single, you have to just think about yourself. But when you get into an institution of marriage, you should give time for the relation to build up and understand one has to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to enter the relationship with that frame of mind.
Mhm.
And I think the need is for marriage counselors before marriage.
Okay. You think marriage counseling is
Make a
important?
difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, even we did not know what we as along the years we experienced, we came to know what marriage is all about.
True.
We have some preconceived notion. Everybody has before, but that is not the reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we have counselors to the youngsters before marriage, they know what they are doing
Mm-hmm.
into and what is expected from them in to have a married life. So they will be able to deal with it more. I think even when they have marriage issues, they should go. I mean, before divorce, if you do this, I think the rate may reduce because you know what it is all about
Right.
and whether you are ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that I think would make a difference.
Ma'am, what's your thought on child adoption?
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, with the population growth, I think once upon a time even I had thought of it, but then I wanted so much to experience motherhood as a natural process. But I'm very much for it. I would rather say, of course, there's a different joy in conceiving a child, but if you can make any child's future by adopting a child, it's a wonderful thing. And for those childless couples or even single mothers, I think you can make such a huge difference in somebody's life by adopting a child. And with the population growing, I think one can take care of those who need the children out there rather than adding on to the. If you are comfortable, I mean, it's an individual choice.
Right.
But I appreciate those who go for it. I really salute them. It takes a big heart to
Take this kind of call in life.
Yes. Everybody wants. That's what most of us want to.
Yes.
But taking the final step is thing. I have a friend who has 2 children of her own, and she has adopted. She and her husband wanted to adopt one. So that wonderful couple they are.
But then, ma'am, the processes of adoption also are very strict.
Yeah.
So probably that
is
can,
something
and that has to be.
Because then you never know. There are a lot of risks.
Absolutely.
Because we have heard of instances where people
absolutely.
have used this and there has been issues.
I know.
Yes, government can always make things easier, but I think we don't know the intricacies.
Absolutely.
So I am not the right person to comment on it.
But ma'am, I think child adoption is a great thing.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Ma'am, what are struggles of Dr. Archana Chaudhary? What are your struggles, ma'am? What's difficult in life for you? Or what was difficult earlier, now it's easy?
Yeah. Finding time for myself. When my kids were small, I used to want to do so many things. And even now, there are so many things I want to do.
Like
I want to learn some new form of dance. And now I have time. But that time, I wanted to give more time to my practice. Then I wanted to learn some new skills like I'm interested in dance, so I wanted to learn dance. So we have to join some class, but there was no time. And even doing my regular work, I find 24 hours a day a bit less for so many things. I love to socialize and I want to be part of some NGO or start some NGO. So that is something is in my
Plan.
हाँ,
The bucket list.
bucket list. Earlier though it was not possible, I was fully packed. What I used to find difficult was sometimes I used to get very exhausted. Dealing with health issues, was a issue when I was going through that peak period when 2 kids and practice and house and everything. So I used to find that I needed to give more time to myself. Need time, like you say, you should exercise daily, regularly. I was not able to do it that effectively. There was a bit of neglect, which was because of too many responsibilities. That was struggle. That I wanted a bit of me time, like you say. But now I think it is.
It's great.
It's great.
Ma'am, let me put you into a hypothetical situation where the Almighty comes one day and gives you an option of, 5 people.
Okay.
Just 5 people. You can choose. And without whom you cannot live.
Okay. So I have to name?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, there are so many. I mean.
Or just 5 friends. Let's take it this way.
No,
5
no,
friends.
please. I'll just say 5 people. My kids, my husband, my parents are no more, unfortunately. And you said without whom I cannot live.
Yeah.
Then my friends. Now there are 3 very close friends of mine.
We can name them.
Kalyani, Vishma, and you said 5 people. So
No, I've given 1 to kids, 1 to husband, 1 to friends.
Okay, now
2 left.
2 are left. Okay, my mother-in-law. She's the second mother to me. And there's 1 more.
Yeah, last left.
My sisters.
Okay.
They have been a great support system.
Ma'am, who inspired you? Who's your inspiration in life? Who inspires you?
Actually, Raj, I have many. I get inspired by characters in books. I read a lot of books, and I find many characters very inspiring when I read those books. So
one of the latest character you read somewhere, and that particular character.
Sudhamurti. I mean, they are so inspiring. The lives they are the current with the current challenges we have. They are still able to carve a niche, and they are like Mrs. Sudhamurti. She is able to live such a simple life with such high principle, and the way she has brought her children, I find it very inspiring and very difficult. I mean, to live that kind of a life. We all. Believe in so many things, but to live a life for years on this, it is, very inspiring. Sudhamurti, I find her life inspiring.
Ma'am, this would be my last question. मैम, अगर जिंदगी की एक सुनहरी किताब लिखी गई, उस किताब के एक सुनहरे पन्ने पर ये नाम लिखा गया, अर्चना चौधरी, मैम, इस नाम के नीचे वो कौन सा कोट, वो कौन सी लाइन, वो कौन सी बात लिखी रहनी चाहिए जिसे पढ़ने के बाद लोग आपको याद करें?
मेरे बारे में
आप कुछ भी लिख सकती हैं, कोई अच्छा कोट लिख सकती हैं, आपकी पसंदीदा शायरी लिख सकती हैं, पोइट्री लिख सकती हैं, कोई भी है।
There are many quotes, but I can't recollect.
One quote of your life, come on.
Just give me a few.
Yeah. I know it's out of the syllabus.
No, I can come up with something.
I'm sure, ma'am. It's not just about the skin; it's also about the soul.
Of course. I think life is all about learning and experiencing. So one should appreciate that we are blessed to be born as human beings and make the most of it. Our life should be a process of learning new things and experiencing new things. That is what is the purpose of life, I feel. And I would put something, some quote related, meaning this.
Absolutely, and I think this thought is great. Ma'am, thought भी बढ़िया है.
हाँ, और दूसरी चीज है जो मुझे बहुत close to my heart है कि I feel for myself and everyone that we have been so blessed to be born on this earth and been provided with so much riches because of the society we live in. So I feel we all should contribute something towards the society, towards the nation, and towards Mother Earth. You know, there should be some contribution from our side for what we have been given so much in abundance.
Absolutely.
So something which I believe everyone should, and I would, and I am trying to
Give it back.
my bit, give it back. Yeah. So I think everybody owes it to give it back to the society.
Ma'am, I think this complete thought sums up this great persona of Dr. Archana Chaudhary, and I think this thought of yours will go to hundreds and thousands of people via this medium of show, and this would inspire many. Thank you so much for being a part of my show, and thank you for inspiring. We look forward that in the coming times, you from a woman of the year, you become a superwoman of the year. You don't have to, there are no prejudices, there are no judgments, but then ma'am, this complete thought कि मंजिल मिले ना मिले ये मुकद्दर की बात है, हम कोशिश भी ना करें ये गलत बात है। तो आप जिस कोशिश में लगी हैं, आप वो कोशिश में साकार हो, आपका सपना, आपकी हर इच्छा पूरी हो, और आपकी जो बकेट लिस्ट है वो पूरी हो जाए, है ना। आपने अपना वक्त दिया, आपने हमसे बात करी, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू सो मच मैम।
Thank you, Raj.
डॉक्टर अर्चना चौधरी से बात हुई, मुलाकात हुई इन दिस एक्सक्लूसिव एपिसोड ऑफ राज की बात। वन ऑफ द ग्रेट थॉट्स, आई थिंक आफ्टर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम समबडी जस्ट सेड, डॉक्टर अर्चना चौधरी जस्ट मेंशन दैट हमें इस बात को लेकर वाकई में, वो कहते हैं ना कि इंसान का जन्म लेना भाग्य की बात है, लेकिन वापस इंसानियत के लिए कुछ करना सौभाग्य की बात है। तो अगर आप वो सौभाग्य पाना चाहते हैं तो आप जो भी कर रहे हैं कोशिश कीजिए कि एक समय के बाद, क्या होता है जनरली कि 70 की उम्र के बाद या 60 की उम्र के बाद लोगों को अब लगता है कि अब मुझे तीर्थ यात्रा पे जाना चाहिए, ईश्वर का नाम पूरी जिंदगी लिया नहीं, अब जाना चाहिए। लोग 60 साल की उम्र के बाद NGO से जुड़ते हैं और समाज कार्यों से जुड़ते हैं और समाज सेवा करते हैं और कहते हैं कि इतने वर्षों तक अपनी ही चीज़ों में बिजी रहे, अब समाज के लिए काम करेंगे। देखिए ऐसा है कि ये भले ये बात अच्छी सुनने में लगती कि जब जागे तब सवेरा, लेकिन जो हकीकत है वो ये है कि जो रोज आप कर सकते हैं वो जब आप एक समय के बाद करना शुरू करेंगे तो आपको अचीव करने में काफी वक्त लग जाएगा। क्यों ना हम ईश्वर का नाम लेना रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में इसे अप्लाई करें, हम समाज को वापस देना रोज अपनी जिंदगी में से अप्लाई करें। कैसे कर सकते हैं? बस एक थॉट लेकर कि कर्मा ही सब कुछ है। अगर हमें कुछ मिल रहा है तो हम कुछ दान कर दें, अगर हमें कुछ सीखने को मिल रहा है तो हम 4 लोगों को चीज सिखा दें। हम बस ये जो धड़कता हुआ दिल है ना, ये सिर्फ किसी खूबसूरत चेहरे पे ना हारे, किसी की खूबसूरती, उनके जो काम के प्रति जो उनकी खूबसूरती है उसको भी ध्यान में रखते हुए उसे अभिनंदन करें, उसका धन्यवाद करें। और इससे खूबसूरत बात क्या हो सकती है किसी के बारे में कहना कि प्रेम परिचय को पहचान बना देता है, वीराने को गुलिस्तान बना देता है। मैं अपनी नहीं, डॉक्टर अर्चना चौधरी भी कहता हूँ कि अपने काम के प्रति समर्पण इंसान को भगवान बना देता है। आपसे फिर होगी मुलाकात इन राज की बात। तब तक आप अपना ध्यान रखें, सुरक्षित रहें, स्वच्छ रहें, स्वस्थ रहें, मस्त रहें, खुश रहें, व्यस्त रहें, परिवार के साथ एक अच्छा वक्त बिताएं। और अगर आपके परिवार में एक छोटी सी बेटी है जो आपको आपका कौन सा क्रीम लगाना चाहिए, कितना साबुन लगाना चाहिए और कैसे अपनी स्किन का ध्यान रखना चाहिए, अगर ये आपको समझाती है, लेकिन सबसे ऊपर आपको ये बताती है कि आपका एक अच्छा काम दुनिया बदल सकता है, तो समझिए वो डॉक्टर अर्चना चौधरी बन रही है। जिंदा रहें। जय हिंद।